guys. I'm just giving this a try. Let me know if my voice is off at all. The first time I went to a boy's place, I was around 16 at the time, so I was commencing at a new secondary school. During my early days attending this new educational facility, I met this rather charming guy we can refer to as Jacob. Even though Jacob was quite enticing, he seemed to show an unsettling amount of quirkiness. Not the quirkiness you'll see in those nerdy people who's into Marvel comic books like me, but the quirkiness that'll make you think that this particular person will be a potential serial killer. Being the pushover and over-friendly person, I put that aside and became friends with him. One Saturday afternoon, Jacob invited me to stay at his place. I didn't have anything else to do, so I accepted the invitation. Around 20 minutes later, he picked me up and took me to his place since he was able to drive. Upon arrival to his house, I took a look at the property. It was out in the bush. A big property with the main house, which his parents and sister lives, and a granny flat around 10 meters from the main house, where Jacob lives by himself. I checked my phone for the time. It was around 5 in the evening, and I noticed that I have no reception, which is strange because Telstra, the phone company I'm with, is very good with their reception, and I can normally get decent signals when I'm out in the bush, when I go to see my family. I thought I was in a setting for a classic horror movie, but humorously brushed it off my mind. Once we settled into his place in his kitchen/living room, we went off to go have a shower. As I heard the water being turned on in his bathroom, I thought I should do a little bit of snooping around. Nothing too privacy invading, just to look at the decor in his place and to see what his room is like. In the midst of my snooping, I saw various things. His old jersey when I used to play rugby, a few artworks he did since he's an art student, and a photo booth style photo of him and his ex, which I kind of got jealous about since I had feelings for the guy back then. The creepy part, though, was his room. I was stepped into his room. At first it seemed normal. Bed with a nightstand, desk with high-tech computer and camera stuff, things like that. But as I look around his room, a half-open drawer in the nightstand caught my attention. As I looked in the drawer, I noticed something that sparked up red alarms. A big, sharp butcher's knife, rope, BDSM-style handcuffs, and a bottle of something that I knew wasn't lube. I tried to brush it off as Jacob just being hella kinky, but something in me knew there was something fishy going on. Maybe because of rumors I heard at school about him doing some sort of fucked up shit. At first I ignored them, but now I'm starting to believe these rumors. Shortly after I heard the shower turn off, I sprinted my ass back to where I was sitting before he had a shower, and acted like I was trying to get reception. He came out of the bathroom dried and dressed. He made an amusing remark about the reception here as he walked up behind where I was sitting and expectantly hugged me and scooped me up bridal style and carried me to his bedroom. These sudden actions made a mini anxiety attack and a little bit fearful for my life. As he placed me on his bed, Jacob proceeded to go to his tripod next to his desk and prop up his camera, and then he directed it in my direction. This made my brain say, "Get the fuck out of here," as my heart was pounding in fear, thinking he was going to rape and murder me and film all of this on camera to put on the deep web, since he told me he visits the websites frequently. Luckily, in these situations, I was always smart enough to escape, and so I pretended to read a text from my mom saying that I needed to come home. I lied to him that my mom wants me to come home and said that she will pick me up. I apologized for my unforeseen leave and bid him farewell before I rushed out of his property. Once I was out of his granny flat, as I was 1 or 2 streets away, I called my next-door neighbor to pick me up since my mom was out of town that night. Once my friend picked me up, I told her some made-up story on why I was here, and she took me home. Ever since that incident, I was scared of Jacob and lessened my time talking to him. After he graduated, I blocked him on all contacts and never talked to him again. That night was the most fearful night I ever experienced. After that, I don't go to guys' places that live on their own.